Oh no, I bought a fruit tree at Costco and I don't know what to do with it.
Hello, today we are going to plant a bare root fruit tree from a big box store. I'm going to show you the basic tools: a shovel and a bucket of water. That's all you really need to plant your bare root fruit tree. I have some different digging tools here: an adze hoe and a breaker or a breaker bar. Great digging tool, good investment, Harbor Freight. All right, here I have my pruners, a rag, disinfectant, and some cardboard for sheet mulching. And of course, I have wood chips in a big pile over there behind the garage, front of the garage. And my propane torch. I'm a big fan of this. Wheelbarrow. You don't need all these things. Like I said, all you need is the shovel and a bucket of water.
Let's talk site selection. This camera's pointed east and now it's going to pan after this towards the west. A fruit tree wants full sun. In order to get those fruits to ripen, it needs to have full photosynthesis to bring the energy to create the sugar. A fruit tree should be planted in full sun. However, I'm doing something a little different here. I know I'm going to get a little bit of shading. I have an old Italian plum there to the west, right there. And when in summertime, it's going to get a little shade in the afternoon. That's all right. It's an okay compromise, because what I try to do is pack a ton of fruit trees into a small area. It still matters, site selection, and I want to just get every benefit I can, but I can't get full sun all the time. Right here, you'll notice that my fruit tree is just north of that asparagus bed there. I don't want to shade my asparagus bed out, and also I don't want my asparagus, they get pretty tall too, to shade out my fruit tree. So I'll have to let this Santa Rosa plum at least get high enough to get away from that being shaded out by the asparagus. That's okay. I'll give my everything to control this fruit tree. I manipulate my fruit trees. I keep them small. I pack them in there, and I tie branches down. I'm a heavy summer pruner, a heavy winter pruner, and constantly active with my trees. Not everybody is that way. If you're not active with your fruit tree, you don't plan to be, give it room. Because if you give it room, it can grow more naturally. In my case, I have to keep them small in order to get the sunlight that they deserve. The variety of plum that I'm going to plant today, the bare root tree here, is a Santa Rosa plum, and it's actually not known to grow that well here on the Olympic Peninsula, Zone 8B. We have cool summers, and the Santa Rosa wants a lot of heat. What it is known for is being a very good pollinator of other Asian plums. So when you go to the big box store, you don't know what they're going to have. Bring your telephone and start investigating right on the spot. Look up the tree, know your fruit planting zone, and you can get a good tree with a great deal, but you should know that it will do well in your area. All right, right there I just marked the spot where I'm going to dig my $100 hole.
Planting instructions: remove from package. Remove packaging material which was placed around the roots to keep them moist. Soak roots in a pail of water while digging hole. Dig a hole large enough to spread the roots out without cramping. Fill a hole within 2 inches of top of ground with good loose garden soil. Pour in a bucket of water. After water settles, finish filling the hole with loose soil. Let's see what the roots look like. All right. Oh, baby, they took some roots off. Look at that. Woo!
All right, digging the hole. Not everybody enjoys this, but you know what? You're out in the garden. This is exercise. This is 2 birds with 1 stone. Plant a fruit tree and get some exercise.
You guys, while I was digging in this area before, this asparagus bed actually, you're not going to believe me, but I found a gold ring, gold wedding band, and I love digging. It's really cool because you get to see the different types of soil, the topsoil working down to what's down below, the kind of a different layer, I guess. I think digging makes you really familiar with your property. I dig lots of holes. Take pride in my hole digging. It's great exercise. A lot of people dread it, but for me, it's actually enjoyable. What I'm doing right now is keeping the whole perimeter the size, the circumference the same, but I'm going down in the direction that I think the roots are going to spread. I want the roots to spread that way. And I think it's important to have nice loose soil so that the roots can really spread out and keep going without hitting compaction and then swirling around and kind of getting root bound in its own hole. So I loosen up underneath the soil as well by digging on the sides like that. I have pretty rocky soil, so I like to pick out the rocks because that tree's going to run into rocks further out. So I want to give it a good starting foundation without rocks in order to really get those to go out. And then once they hit the rocks further out, the tree will already be resilient and find paths with its root system. They say the root system of a tree is generally the same size as the actual size of the branches coming out. That's pretty impressive. If you look at a lot of trees, you're like, if their root system's as big as the tree, my God. I'm lucky I have a fairly quick draining soil here, a sandy loam, just what I want, but I do have a lot of rocks. Nobody has perfect soil. One thing I suggest is take a look at your neighbors. What are they growing? What's successful in their gardens or in their orchards? I can't believe what they do to the roots. I wish they did it more to the branches than they did the roots. Look how aggressive they were with that. It wouldn't have mattered up here, but the roots, it'll still be fine, probably. Planting depth, here's the graft union right here. Kind of hard to tell exactly where the dirt level was. Probably right in here. Yep, I'm gonna go right here. So it'll be something like that. All right, time to refill the hole with some loose topsoil. I'm just gonna take this ball here, pick the rocks out of it, shake it back in there. All right, done with that. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to really look at where the branches are before I set it, because it's my chance to really have the branches go where I want them to go. Last chance for that, to really be able to spin 360. I don't want them growing over the asparagus bed. I'm going to prune the heck out of this thing anyway. but that looks pretty good to me. Spread the roots out. Kind of want to point them down towards that loose soil. Okay. That height looks a little bit low, so I'll be able to lift it up here in a sec once I get some more dirt. How's that for height? It's pretty good, actually. Not too hard, but I'm gonna pack it down a little bit, make sure. All right, looks like you could use another scoop of dirt. This dirt's a mixture of native soil with a little bit of steer and grow. It says don't fertilize, but I think it'll be all right. It's not too much. Okay, you guys, now I'm going to prune it. Definitely could have pruned it in the car if I knew I was going to Costco to get fruit trees, which I did not. Happy surprise. It makes transport way easier. Nobody mentions that you can prune it right at the nursery or the big box store. You can prune it right there, and it'll make transporting your tree a whole lot easier, even with the Prius. All right, I'm going to make this guy open center. And I'm going to prune everything. First, I'm going to wash my pruners. All right, I'm going to take you off camera because I really got to think about this. It's an important cut. All right, I'm going to take this one out right away because it's weak. I think these both are coming out actually, but I just want to get that one out of the way. I know this one's coming out. I want to open up that center. This branch is kind of weak, but I kind of like where it's going. Might keep that. This one's too much. So yeah, I end up taking, this might be an important cut. I want to get the angle right because it's kind of the center of the tree. So I'm going to go like that. Probably should have been even more at an angle, but I'm thinking about taking this one out too. Which I'll really get the angle right on this one. This branch is coming out. Yep. Okay. I'll save that tag. That's why you should start a YouTube channel. That way you have a record of all your fruit trees if you're bad at tagging trees.
Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to watch all our videos. Bye.
Okay, I pick up all the branches that I trimmed off because I don't know, they seem to I kind of think that they might harbor disease, especially like a degrading it's the same type of fruit tree, then it's degrading on the ground. It might cause the stuff that's susceptible to this. I don't know.
this is me combining careers. I'm a big fan of the flame weeder. I'm just trying to weaken the grass before I put the sheet mulching over it, just to make sure that, or give it a better chance to die. I want it to be suffering and then covered in cardboard and then covered in mulch so that it suffers more. But I use fire a lot in the garden just because of who I am. I'm a forest firefighter. So it's kind of an excuse. I guess I'm a pyromaniac. It helps. It's not a cure-all, but it definitely helps with the weeds. Although it doesn't get the roots. It's just like chopping them off and the roots are still there. But I think it'll help weaken them. Alright, now I'm going to use my favorite method of getting rid of the weeds. That's some cardboard. This is as well not a cure-all. It just helps keep them down. And I'm going to do several layers of sheet mulching here, and then I'll put some wood chips on it. Keeping moisture in, making it easier to retain moisture, especially this first summer when it'll be dry and the tree needs to be watered a lot, because that first couple years you really want to water your small fruit trees deeply, establish a good root system, and this just gives you a little more leeway. Having a good layer of mulch over it retains moisture and makes your life easier and tree more resilient. Also, mycorrhizal fungi proliferate in the mulch. Kind of creating a weird communication thing that I don't quite understand between roots and mycorrhizal fungi. I just know that's what happens in the forest. It's natural. Trying to replicate it. Now I'm going to do something completely unnecessary and actually not recommended. It's a pruning sealer here. I've had it for several years, and actually, I don't know, 8-9 years, and I'm just sealing up the tips. I have it. It works for me, and apparently it's not necessary. But I live in a fungal-prone environment on the Olympic Peninsula, especially in the wintertime, so might as well try to keep that fungi and other things from attacking where I just made those fresh cuts. Doug fir bark mulch. Mulch time, baby. You want to be cognizant that the bark mulch, or the mulch that you use, you can use lots of mulches, isn't right up against the trunk of the tree. The trunk needs airflow, so you don't want rot there to develop because of stagnant air. Okay guys, we're all planted. Should be pretty happy. It's been 2 birds, 1 stone, backyard gardening and living. Please like and subscribe. I'm just trying to get better at YouTube, and the motivation really helps. Thank you.